video. You look like one of the 7 dwarfs.
Which one?
Dopey.
Hello.
Whoa.
Right, okay, so what I'm going to look at today is a number of different ways of faking drone shots, or maybe if not faking, maybe creating a shot which could replace a drone shot, could, you know, show somebody in context of where they are, or show a higher vantage point. And the reason for this is that a few weeks ago I was assisting with drone videography and doing a little spot of modeling on a hiking shoot for the tourist board, and I needed to get these drone shots. I checked the forecast, and first of all, the wind looked like it was going to be really windy, a really high chance that it was going to rain. So it was looking like the chances of actually getting to fly the drone were pretty slim. So I was wondering, is there any way we can get shots that look like drone shots another way? Now, I've experimented a bit with the Insta360 One X on the end of a 3-meter long pole. Got pretty good results, but the problem with it is that the quality is quite low. By the time you've compressed and exported it, it's probably equivalent to about 720p footage, so it's not fantastic. What I thought was, can we do this with a GoPro Hero7 Black? It's got that really good stabilization, maybe that would work in the end of a pole. What about the Osmo Pocket? It's got that gimbal built in, it's got a more natural looking focal length, maybe that would work. So armed with, let's see, the Mavic, the Insta360 One X, the Osmo Pocket, and the GoPro Hero7 Black, we went to the mountains to try and see what would happen.
Right, today we're on the search for the lesser spotted Stephen Reed. He can be found in his natural habitat, out in a wilderness, with a 3-meter pole and a 360 camera. If we're very quiet, we'll see him here. Shh. It's very rare to find him in these parts, especially out in the open.
B-roll. B-roll. Zoom, 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 zoom. We're about maybe half the distance up to the saddle, which is up and that way. If you can see, it's completely misty, so there's no way you could fly the drone up there. It's quite windy here. It's borderline nearly too windy to fly the drone, but I think it might actually be okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the one shot and try and replicate it several times using the, well, actually 4 different options. So I will walk from down there just along here, and we want to have the drone up in the air up there looking down in sort of a sideways tracking shot. We'll try it with the drone, we'll see if we can do it as long as the wind doesn't get any higher, and then we'll try it with the Insta360 on the pole, and then we'll try to do it with the GoPro and the Osmo. Now for the GoPro and the Osmo, I'll not be able to hold the pole the way I can with the Insta360 because you'll be able to see the pole. So what I'll do is I'll set the camera up, and then I'll get Dylan will go down there. He's setting something else up there. Dylan will go down there and walk alongside with the camera on the pole. And we're not trying to make a drone shot, we're just trying to get a shot that can do the same role as a drone shot, which is to give a sense of scale and just to show where somebody is. So we'll set that up, try it, and see which one works the best. And hopefully we'll do it before that cloud comes down here. I think he's now videoing me. Yeah, he's got his phone out. He's probably talking about puddles. He loves puddles. I just set my bag in the ground here and realised that I've dumped it next to this pile of free Nesquik, so if I'm hungry, there's something to eat. I think I've actually got some Nesquik on my bag.
This is happening.
Stop it now. Okay.
See you later.
Back in the office, and I'm going to preview, I'm going to look at the files and sort of tell you what I think. First here I've got the actual drone shot itself. it's pretty standard. It looks like a drone shot. That's kind of obvious. So let's look at maybe the let's look at the GoPro shot next. Okay, so one of the problems with this is immediately obvious, is it's quite hard to keep the horizon straight. But it actually works pretty well. It gives you the same things that the drone shot gave. There's me, there's the background. It does have this weird sort of sway side to side motion about it, and that's just because Dylan was trying to hold this 3 meter long stick and he was walking at the same time. If you edit it just like a small bit of that, a couple of seconds, or say you worked smart and incorporated it into a really fast edit, you might not notice it's not even a drone shot. Let's look at the Insta360, because I have a good idea of what that's going to look like, having done that quite a few times before. Yeah, it works really well. It still blows my mind how that stick disappears when you're carrying it. Again, you do get, there is a sense of motion because, you can tell something's been held. Every time I sort of walk up and down, that Z-axis is still there, still bouncing around. But generally, that's a good smooth shot, and there's sections of that, if you were editing it into a longer piece, you could snip, and nobody would ever notice it wasn't a real drone shot. And then the other advantage with that is that you can also spin around. You can get two angles, so I could, spin the camera around and shoot up into the mountain as well. So far, I think I prefer that one. Last but not least, the Osmo Pocket. The Osmo Pocket's an interesting one because it doesn't use electronic stabilization, it uses an actual gimbal, so interested to see how it came out. But a bit of trouble framing the Osmo Pocket up, so it wouldn't connect to my phone, so I had to do it a few times. Okay, so the Osmo Pocket, hands down, has the best image quality. Again, the same downside is it wobbles up and down every time every time there's a rock in the way. But again, if you're just cutting a little tiny snippet of that into a longer video, you're never going to notice. Now, one thing I will say about this is because of the narrower field of view on the Osmo Pocket, it nearly looks like it's just someone walking along the ground. This feels a lot less like a drone shot, but again, it could be used to replace it. And that's all three of them. My overall conclusion, I think, if I had to choose just one of those, I would probably go with the Insta360 One X for a couple of reasons. Probably the main one being it's only one that you can do yourself. All you need is that pole to hold. The other two, you need to have somebody else there. It's got the reframing options. It's so easy. You just put it up, hit record, off you go, and then you can reframe it afterwards. It's incredibly easy to use, and the quality, I think, is good enough for most applications where you might use it to replace a drone shot. If image quality is absolutely essential, then I would probably say try using the Osmo Pocket. You will need to get a little adapter though, that's sort of like a little collar that goes around it, so you can use a tripod thread with it. And then the third option I would say would be the GoPro, just because it's such a wide, distorted lens, even with their flow state stabilization, the bounciness just didn't, I don't think it was as good as the Insta360 One X. I'd be quite interested to know what one you thought was the best, because depending on your background, depending on what it is you would want to do with a drone shot, you might feel very differently. If it's just a vlog, all you might care about is the ease of use. If you're doing something that's for a client or it's a cinematic production, you might be like, no, that looks terrible. I would have picked the Osmo Pocket any day. Let me know what you think, and if you like this video, please hit like and please subscribe. The next video I'm gonna do is, I think, now it might not be the next one, but it's coming soon, I'm really excited about it. I got an award-winning landscape photographer to take me out on one of his shoots to like the far reaches of Donegal, to this phenomenal 180 meter high ridge to photograph it at sunset. And
Another time we could have been